Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Katelyn, and today we are getting into drawing another magic token. I've been having a blast with these, and it's like right before my convention season, so I wanted to get a couple of them done before my first Comic-Con here in June. If you're in the Phoenix area, I will be at Phoenix Fan Fusion here in 2 weekends. It's pretty soon. And then I'm going to also be at Indie PopCon in June, and then the beginning of July, I'm going to be at Denver Comic-Con. So if you want to see what other comic conventions I'm going to be at this year, you can check out my events page. I'll put a link right here somewhere. But anyway, let's jump into another magic token today. So for the next type of token I wanted to do the food token. As you guys know, I've been practicing my food rendering. It's been a while since I did do the initial paintings for the Foxmug Hounds food. So even though it's been a minute since I painted those, I do want to keep the rendering chops greased, I guess. I want to be able to paint food more frequently, so I got to make sure to keep practicing it. So I was like, we might as well do the food token and do a really cool rendered piece. So let's jump in and get some sketches going and figure out how we want the food token to look for our Magic the Gathering set. All right, let's jump into our sketches for our food magic token. So I actually struggled with this one for a little bit. I kind of sat with it for a while on the Twitch stream and tried to brainstorm exactly what I wanted to do. And then I just kind of was like, you know what, I can't think of it for too long. It's just never going to happen if I just leave it in my brain. So I'm like, I just got to start sketching. So my first idea was to do kind of like a bartender or like an owner of a restaurant handing you a bowl of food. And then that evolved into a really cool Dragonborn bartender, and I really love how that one turned out. And then my second idea was maybe a chef within their little cozy kitchen workspace. I imagined them prepping a big pot of something, and I thought it would be really cute to make them a tiefling like or some type of I don't know, horned eared person with a tail. And then having some food in the foreground, so it's yes, there's the food dish. And then I did a quick initial sketch of what I was thinking of doing a feast, but I really wasn't liking how that was turning out. I was really liking the character aspect of these. So then for the third one, I thought about doing almost a high tea or an afternoon tea in the garden with someone reading a book. I thought that would be a really cute way to portray food. And so I did a sketch of that one as well. But after looking at all three of them, I was just really jiving with the first one with the cool Dragonborn with the plate of food. So I was like, this will be perfect. Let's just go with that one. It feels fun and it feels right. And then I can get to those other more complicated background piece ones in another video. You know, I'm totally down to do more than just one food token. So I just started with this one because I just really liked it, and I liked the forced perspective of the plate being handed to you as well. So I was like, let's go for it. I think this will be a really fun one to do. So after figuring that out, it was time to get in and do some line art. Sometimes I do a cleanup sketch between my quick thumbnail and the line art, but recently I've been feeling a little bit more confident with some of my drawings. So I was like, let's just jump in and get right to the line art, and I'll figure out the detailing as we go. And so that kind of can be a pro and a con, because one, I feel more confident and I can just jump into my work, but then I have to do a lot of tweaking and perspective stuff and kind of figure it out on the fly. But I think this one turns out really good, and I do end up really liking the perspective of everything in this shot. So at least for the food, I thought it'd be really fun to have almost a bowl with a big slab of a roast, some potatoes, and a crust of bread. I thought that would be perfect for a nice hearty meal at a bar or a tavern. And I feel it just fits this character. I feel whoever this bartender is, I think she would make a really hearty beef stew or something with a lot of protein. So I just thought it would fit really well. And then it just looks cool. I think the piece overall just looks really cool as it's coming towards you. I'm really proud of this one. I know we're already into coloring, but I just even liked how the line art version looked. So let me know in the comments if you're interested in me maybe releasing these as coloring pages as well. I've been thinking about making a digital coloring book a lot of the work that I've done. And I feel the ones that have the cool background or the forced perspective or different things like that, I think those would work really well. So this one I think could look really sick. So let me know down in the comments what you think. But yeah, anyway, back to coloring. So I ended up doing like a purple dragonborn. For those of you who maybe have been around for a long time, God, I don't even remember when I did this video. Forever ago, I did this like realism painting challenge in terms of like kit bashing textures and existing assets and then painting on top of them. It was basically a class that I took on Skillshare a really long time ago. And what I did in that painting was I took one of my old original D&D characters, which was this rogue dragonborn that I used to play as, and repainted her in like a more rendered epic way. And I just always seem to go back to purple dragonborns. I don't know what it is, but this one again, I was like, oh my gosh, this is not, she doesn't look anything like my rogue dragonborn, but I don't know, just purple always feels right. It's like purple or orange are always my go-to dragonborn colors. I don't know what it is, but I'm really glad I picked it because it does help like the food pop against like the background. And then later on, when I do get into like the background painting, I go for more of those warm colors of like a warm hearth of a tavern. And I feel it really helps like have a good contrast between like this purple dragonborn and like the warm reds and yellows of the background of the tavern later on. With these two, I've been trying to be really on top of like coloring some of the line art. I really like how different a piece looks when you add some different color dimension to your lines as well. So I put some of that in for like some initial ideas of where the light source was coming from. And then I got in and just started doing a lot of the shading and figuring out exactly the contrast that I wanted for this piece. But I end up doing a lot more once we get the background because I knew where I wanted my light source, but I think I needed a little bit more information before I could really dive in and add my cool lighting and like deeper shading effects. So now with the initial shading figured out, I got into sketching the background. I wanted to keep it kind of simple, so then the character and the food stood out the most, but I didn't want it to be like plain per se. So I thought it would be interesting to have like almost like a barrel, I guess storage shelf, like the big ale barrels or alcohol barrels behind this character that are on like this larger shelving unit. And then having like a really nice like brick wall with like a wood roof. I thought that would look really nice and work well with like kind of the ideas that I was having for the shading and the lighting overall for this like cozy little tavern. So then after putting in like these base colors for the background, I went in and added a little bit more rendering to it to add some more texture and life to it. But I feel it really comes together once I get some lighting going. And for all of these, I do like this trick that a friend of mine taught me, which is basically doing like a unifying gradient. So on top of your artwork, if you feel like the colors aren't really matching up well, or they just feel a little bit dissociated with how they're shaded, you can always try doing a gradient of some type of color. Like basically you go from a lighter color to a darker color. Sometimes it's like pink to blue or like yellow to like a purple, and trying to put that over the piece and then setting it to a soft light. It can really help unify your piece overall. And once I did that and then started punching in the highlights and the shadows, this piece really came to life and all came together. And I'm just so pleased with how this came out overall. And then I love how the food rendering turned out. Just this whole thing was so fun, and I love doing these magic cards. And there we have it. We are all done with our second magic token in our mini series. I really love how this food token turned out, and I had a lot of fun rendering some food again. It's been a while, and I'm so pleased that I can render food. Even though I was a little rusty and I had to kind of like relearn everything again, I still really like how this turned out overall. And I, of course, had a lot of fun doing like a cool dragonborn bartender serving you food. This was just a really fun piece, and I just love the atmosphere and the character and the food. I just love it all overall. I really would like to do the other ones that I sketched as well. I really liked the mood and the atmosphere of those as well. So those will be for sure for another time in the future because God, I love those. I really like the one that looks like it's almost like high tea with an elf. That one I for sure want to do. But either way, thank you guys again so much for stopping by and checking out this video. If you aren't already, I'd really appreciate it if you hit the subscribe button, leave me a comment, a like, whatever you would like, because, you know, it helps with the YouTube algorithm, and I'm trying to make this little art business work, so I really appreciate your support. If you'd like to support me more directly, you can go check out my Patreon. I'll do a shout out right here for my current patrons. Thank you guys so much for supporting me and my art business. I have a tip what you want if you just want to throw me a buck or two every month. It does help a lot in my little small business. Or if you would like to receive some goodies in the mail every month of my artwork, you can go check out the Mail Club, where you can get a sticker, a print, and a sticker sheet sent to you every month, featuring some of the art that's done on the channel and some original drawings of creatures that we've made before. So if you want to go support me, you can go check out my Patreon. And also a little bit of an early announcement, I will be doing a big shop update coming up in July. So if you want to keep an eye out for that, you can join my newsletter. I'll put a link right here. I'll be sending out an early access to my shop through my newsletter, so you can pick up these magic tokens. I also have game mats and t-shirts and a lot of things coming. So if you'd like to get some of my goodies, you can go check out my newsletter and check out my shop drop in July. But either way, thank you guys again so much for stopping by and checking out this video. I really appreciate your guys' support. I hope you're enjoying this magic mini series because I'm having a lot of fun doing card art. And it's also helping me improve my background, so I can't complain at all about that. But either way, thank you guys again so much for stopping by, and I'll see you all next time. Bye, everybody.